You're now watching Good Morning Cruisers. Starting the morning off right with your hosts, Griff and Alyssa.
Good morning, cruisers.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Like and subscribe for non-stop cruise talk brought to you live. Enjoy the show.
Good morning, cruisers. What's up?
Morning.
We're back in the studio, as you can tell. How was your weekend today, guys? How was your weekend, hon?
My weekend was good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah? What'd you do?
I don't remember.
So,
It was pretty chill.
it was pretty chill. We're getting prepared to go look at homes.
We are.
Yeah, we're about to go look at some homes. We had a great weekend. We're setting up. We're going to go check out a place out in Wesley Chapel, provided the weather looks good. So, Kitty says, decent weekend. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show today. We do not have a packed show today. We looked at some of the news and we were like, you know what? It's a pretty chill day. So we're going to go over Ask Alyssa right out of the gate. We're going to talk about the Wonder of the Seas for a little bit, what our expectations are. We have group space on that ship. Might call Rose to see if she's got any deals for us. Also, there's a new cruise line called Storylines Cruises, and it's a residential cruise line. You can live on that ship. And so this is different from any other ship where the ship was originally built for your everyday average cruiser, and then they kind of turn it into a place where you can live because it's possible to do so. These are specifically built for you to live on long term.
So you're saying we are currently going to look for a house, but I could live on a cruise ship?
You could live on a cruise ship full time, and they haven't released pricing yet. You can put in a query, but it does appear to be very reasonable. They're like 2 bedrooms, like 1.5 baths, like they're legit residential spaces. One of them had like 3 pools.
Can I bring my dog?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, they're like residential spaces.
What?
There's a helicopter for like it's pretty neat. So we'll go over that today, and it looks good. Someone gave us a congratulatory chat saying congratulations on getting selected for Disney Creators Lab. So
Thank you.
the word is spreading fast. For those that don't know what that is, we can go over that later on. But it's Monday. It's Monday. It took us a little bit to get started, but we're back into the studio.
We are. We are back here, and it feels good to be in a quiet space.
Yes. So what is up, everybody? How you guys doing? So let's get into that first one, and I'm going to see if I can share my screen with you guys. But essentially, boop. Let's see if that works. I'm sharing my studio real quick. There we go. Ask Amy. And so that's the Ask Amy series, but you can do Storyline Cruises, and I'll go to Storyline Cruises. And essentially, it is live aboard a luxury residential cruise ship, like a luxury residential community. And it's got like 20 different restaurants on board. And apparently one of their main selling points is 10,000 book library. 3
That's
pools
interesting.
and a 5,400 square foot garden farm with 17 decks. Isn't that cool?
That's quite interesting.
Isn't
Yeah.
that cool? Isn't that neat? And so check this out, guys. I don't know if you ever heard of Storylines. It's 17 stories, but it's been featured on CBS and Forbes, and it's starting to pick up a little traction because you can travel the world and actually live on a ship, and that's not unfamiliar territory for some people, but it does look pretty cool. And so if I go through, I want to say some of the lifestyle stuff, like just check out this little clip in the background if it decides to play. That robot keeps wanting to ask me questions, but it looks pretty nice.
Ooh,
Wellness
that's fancy.
spa, entertainment. Like the lounge areas is what I think is something comparable to what you see in a hotel. Not a hotel.
Well, yeah, a hotel, but apartment living. We lived at Advocate Gateway, and it reminded me a lot of this. So go take a look at the
There's a microbrewery.
Yeah. It's a 3-month sample itinerary. So Rome, Italy, Naples, Capri, Go check out a volcano, Lipari Islands, Residence Choice, Messina. The place looks pretty cool. Let me pull up the brochure. MV narrative by storylines. And so let me check it out. There we go. So this is what the ship looks like, and I kind of dig it. Stop by some nooks and crannies of the Caribbean islands and Bali, and
So how long can I live on the ship?
it appears to be 12 months. And so they break
wow.
up their itineraries into 3 months. So you'd be sailing across different areas of different countries
That's
in
beautiful.
3-month blocks. But just that's the home. There we go. This is what I wanted to find. I wish they made it more like easier to see. But it's pretty sweet.
I can get off the ship
Yeah.
like while the ship is moving. Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Yeah, this looks incredible. So I would love to do it, you know, if I wasn't poor, but is what it is. So it says up to 4 bedrooms configurations. You can choose your floor plan. There's a pallet style option. There's a 24-year lease or outright purchase, and rental income while not on board. So this looks pretty cool. I think this is going to be the new wave. You're going to be living at sea. And so
Look at that bedroom.
that's what we're going to talk about over the next few minutes here. So as the cost of living starts to skyrocket and homes are becoming more and more expensive and apartment living becomes more expensive, some places in our area are like $2,600 a month. And being at sea, seeing how profitable that is, what some cruises, even a cruise we bought was like, what, $250 per person for 3 days?
For 3 days, yeah.
And so let's do some math real quick. 250 divided by 3.
Okay.
And so compare that to 30 days. What we got? Where are my mathematicians at? So if we whip out a calculator,
You can
250 divided by 3. It's $83 a day.
I would say a good price cruise, in my opinion, is like $100 a day or under.
Mm-hmm. And so we do 83 times 30, give or take, $2,500. And so the cruise lines, they start looking at this, and I was like, you know what? I mean, you come live with us, we'll increase the price just a smidge, but your food's included, your entertainment's included. There's a pool, you get internet, get a nice home, up to 4 bedrooms on a ship, traveling across the world. All you need, they said, all you need is like an income. So you show a proof of income, like you have to do with apartments and homes.
Right. Everything else.
And everything else, and that's it. So imagine you're paying $2,500, $3,000 a month for rent at sea, and you're traveling the world, and you're vlogging that and showing the ins and outs of what that life is like, and you're putting it on the internet, and then people are watching, and then yeah, that's your YouTube channel. There it is. Starts to pay for itself, and you're in different parts of the planet.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and they said 12 to 24 months. You'd be doing it for 12, 24 months. As long as you got a job, I mean, you could pretty much move. And for those that are like, hey, I got a family, I can't do them out of school. Online school, pandemic has taught us that you can do school online.
It's true. Homeschool.
You can take your meetings online. Just be aware of the it's not bad. Yeah, Kathy L's like, that's cheap. I spend $1,200 a month just for food. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, guys, give us a thumbs up on this video if you're watching now. Hit a thumbs up if you guys would live at sea, because I'm actually going to look into that. We were looking at homes, and you know,
Oh, we could do that now.
You want to do that right now?
We could technically do that now.
Okay. You heard him.
1 year. Would you not like, hey, Alyssa, come live on this ship? Like if we reached out to them, come live on this ship 1 year. Document the process.
As long as I could bring Olivia.
As long as we can bring Olivia, would you do it?
Yeah.
Should we reach out? Guys, let us know. You think we should reach out to this company, and if they're sailing right now, like, hey, 12 months. And we'll pay rent. We'll pay rent, a discounted rent because we're working. We'll work for you guys. We'll be the family at sea. Meet the Griffins.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some quality content coming for
Like
you.
Griff and Alyssa have officially moved to sea. We would do the morning show at sea. The Wi-Fi would be solid. We set up a nice little international phone card because we'd have to do the phone card on the ship.
Yeah.
Alyssa's going to go home and she's going to actually look this through. And if the price is right, Alyssa's going to be like, Alyssa, we do things, we experiment with our life so quickly. We're like,
We do.
full-time RV living?
Cool, let's do it.
Cool, let's do it. And so as we look for homes and we're like, we just want to like a home where we can call our own and raise a family and have the studio and do YouTube projects and stuff like that. And we would still go on cruising, or we could just fast forward a little bit, get to cruising all the time. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
And so-
I like the fact that they go to like different places and it's not just like the same couple islands in the Caribbean. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
and
they go all over the place.
There's a safety net built in as well. So let's say like, hey, I'm exploring Italy and the ship leaves me, right? You stayed on land a little too long. Cool. Let's say you were irresponsible. You would hike up to the next spot. You'd catch a taxi, catch a train, or if you plan your itinerary correctly, like, hey, listen, I'm actually going to stay in Italy for the next 2 weeks. And then, provided that you have the income, you can fly to France and they'll pick you up in France. Kind of like the MSC thing.
That's
So it
that's
just
kind of
keeps
cool
going.
too.
Like, no, I live on this ship. This is my house. My house just kind of floated away.
My house floated away.
And so it certainly sounds pretty interesting. It's the ultimate around the world trip. Would you want to stay on a ship that long, Yvette? I don't know. I mean, we didn't touch on the dining, but from our experience, 20 different dining options and beverages and bars. And then,
Yeah, I would say as long as it's enough variety, because I mean, we like variety in our life, right? But at the same time, we also are pretty, we stick to eating a lot of the same things, which we're trying to expand. But if there's enough variety and I can eat healthy, I'm not just eating burgers and French fries.
Yeah.
Like I need a good variety of food. I also need a gym. And then if I get to see a bunch of beautiful destinations, then I say, I don't know, sure.
everyone's saying do it. I think Amy Rogers in the chat, she goes, I think 12 months would be fun. 24 months would be a bit much for me. I think we go at it at 12.
I was going to say, whoa. 12.
So looking at the marketing assets, like they're presenting it to a younger crowd, I'd be interesting to see how true that is. This is not a knock at anyone's age or anything, but sometimes marketing, I don't know if they're advertising to young professionals who are always on the move, always traveling, vagabonds, if you will. I'd be interested in seeing what that is. Or is it for like the more of the retirement crowd? Like, hey, listen, you don't want to be in the city, but you want to travel. Maybe if you travel with us long term and it doesn't cost you $56,000, $120,000 like some of the MSC cruises.
Cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, maybe we'll look at it. So Karen Spurlock's in the building, and I always call out Karen here because her hubby, John Spurlock, I finally sent him the card game. So if you guys don't know, I've been working on a card game for cruisers, and I finally sent that rough draft to John. He's like a board game fanatic. He knows all the games. I think he has over 300 board games or 200 board games.
It was a lot.
Yeah, he has a lot, and he knows his games, him and Karen. So I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts, because if they approve it, then I know the game's good, and then we'll try to play it for free online, and then we can all play it. It'll be fun. Can you imagine getting mail on a ship? No, I couldn't. Run away from all my bills because they'd be on land. Wouldn't need a Verizon phone bill no more. I should use Wi-Fi.
That's true. Kathy wants to know how you make money if you're living on the ship. Kathy, you can do a lot of things now without having to be at work, which is kind of mind-blowing, but 2020 has taught us that a lot of people can work remotely, and a lot of people are still doing that today. So there's a bunch of options out there.
Yeah, and so there's a, what is it? Is it Sir Isaac Newton? For every action, there's an opposite equal reaction or something like that. my point is like there's a consequence for everything, and so when cost of living on land just continues to skyrocket, and you're like, wow, that's actually more expensive than what was it? There's a hotel we were going to stay at in Miami. It was $456 for a night, and
which is
insane because they don't do anything special. There's a pool. I mean, you have to buy
I'm
the food.
sleeping and showering.
Yeah,
That's
I have
it.
to buy the food when you get there. It's sure there's a soft bed, but like we're sleeping and we're showering, and that's about it. And so whatever vibe or decor they put in there, I just like it wasn't worth $456 because at the time, like that's half our rent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think about
For a whole month.
right? Isn't that weird? And so one night at that hotel was at this point a week cruise somewhere, and I'm like as more people. They used to bash cruising, the more like enhanced and safer and technologically like innovative the cruise industry is. And now it's like they're seeing trends and like, hey, listen, you can stay on land or you can stay at sea, and that'll be the new trend. And then I bet you it becomes a lot more common that like everyday conversation, like, oh, how long are you guys here? Like, oh, we're here for 2 weeks. And then, oh, where you guys headed next? Oh, we're headed to Bali. Like, oh, okay, you guys live on the ship. Yeah, we do the ship life. And then, Yeah. And it's like, oh, yeah, I was thinking about doing that, like rent here on land is just way too expensive. We should probably just look into alternative living at sea.
Right, especially if you like to see other places, right?
Yeah.
So we love to travel, and as much as I like being in one place, right, I also like to see the world. So I feel like that would be almost the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I don't have to keep packing and unpacking, right? Because we got to pack our
That's
bags
it.
because we're going to France. No, we'll just be in France tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds really, really neat.
Yeah. And so there's another website, I think it's like Kontiki. But what they're doing is they take freelancers and like graphic designers and people that do a lot of work online. They put them and they do resort hopping, and they basically stay at a resort or so for like 1.5 weeks, pay their rent, because they just need change. And so someone said, yo, what about kids and a normal life one day? So Tony Hawkins, I mean, it's starting to appear just as normal as living on land and at sea. So the rent is comparable. There's such thing as a 4-bedroom house, and now they're having 4-bedroom rooms on the sea, on the ship.
A suite, I guess?
A suite, yeah, like I guess they call it suite, but they're built as like lofts, like apartments. So it is an apartment at sea. Just how cruise ships are compared to like, oh, they're hotels at sea. Now they're building like apartments at sea, and they look pretty dang nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Looks pretty dang nice. And so for the ship to be at full capacity monthly, like one, you pay you pay off the loan a lot quicker to build that ship because it's just recurring versus like the ups and downs. Like once you hit, some apartments are always at like 97% capacity, just like is what it is. You got a few showrooms and then max out capacity, and then you raise the rent. So, I mean, I'm just saying, we were looking at some homes. We saw some that come across our feed, and we're like 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2.5. We saw 3.5. What are we actually looking for? So I can start.
What are we looking for?
Yeah.
At least like a 3-2. At
3-2.
least. Yeah.
So we're looking for a 3-2. And we'll see. Catherine Haynes says, woohoo, I made the live. Guys, give us a shout out and give us a thumbs up. Just do 250 times 10. So here's the deal. I think I saw John Spurlock in the chat. What's up, bro? He goes, I'm here. What'd you think? It took me a month to send him that. We went on a Norwegian cruise, and I kept saying I was going to send him, but I felt like I say it out loud to remind myself, and I finally got it out because I had some downtime yesterday. So, guys, for those of you that are new to the show, we have something called Ask Alyssa. This is a play off of Ask Amy. We do not own the rights to this thread, but I wanted to read you guys a conundrum, a dilemma.
Oh,
and
no.
that's what Ask Alyssa is all about. She's here to solve your dilemma. So if you have a dilemma, message me on Facebook, join our private Facebook group, and just like ping me like, hey, dear Alyssa, and tag Colin Griffin, and then I'll read it live on the show. If it's cruise related, the better. If you guys are debating on a cruise, that'd be awesome. But it's got to be a story like this. Dear Alyssa, I recently purchased a beautiful vacation cabin with a couple.
I own 50% and they own 50%. They also have 6-year-old twins. Before purchasing, we had a long conversation about our plans and our thoughts about the use of the cabin. I have been upfront that I wanted to purchase this mostly to use, but we could rent it out also. They said they would be traveling for 8 weeks of the summer, and they have no problem that I would be in the cabin during some or most of that time. I even asked if I should pay more utilities, and they were adamant that that was not necessary. Now that the sale is final, everything has changed. Every decision is 2 of them against 1, me. They have also mandated, quote unquote, that our schedule would be rotating month to month. I wanted week to week, which means there will be at least 2 months out of the summer season where I wouldn't be able to use the house at all. I also have membership in the county club near the cabin, and because it's only open during the summer months, that is a lot of money being wasted. No matter how much I state my feelings, I am outvoted. I was super excited about this place, and now I can't even think about it without getting upset. Help.
Aww.
Miserable in paradise.
Oh no. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to help. You probably should have got some things in writing before you purchased a cabin.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a bummer. I mean, if you were talking about it beforehand and you had all these plans, and then as soon as you buy, then they're like, "Oh, just kidding, it's ours."
It's ours.
Like that's not okay. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool.
But you probably, if you are looking to do that with someone else, get things in writing.
100%. And so if you're looking to start a business with somebody, that's my opinion. Or own something
Or
with somebody.
anything, yeah. You know.
Get it in writing. Heck, us and Josh got it in writing. Like, we did all the paperwork and all the stuff, and we're like, yeah, it's legal. It's a legal binding agreement.
Yeah.
And everything's smooth sailing. So,
Yep.
You want to hear what Amy said?
I would, because I don't have any advice other than you should have gotten it in writing.
Dear miserable in paradise, you don't know what possessed you to buy the property with these people, so a little legal preparation, but you should see a real estate lawyer quite quickly to define your ownership. Draw up a legal co-ownership agreement between you and the others, and educate all of you on your mutual rights and responsibilities. You should also research how to go about selling your share of the property if it comes to that. If you co-own this property equally, then you have 1 vote and they have 1 vote. They are counting on your passivity when they outvote you. Mm-hmm. If they have decided to alternate month to month and there are 3 months of a summer season at this location, then why don't you just get 2 months and they get 1? Yeah. I see what they're saying. If their children are tied to a traditional school calendar, then presumably you could take June and August or July and September, or you could go month to month during non-summer months. And for the 12 weeks of June, July and August, negotiate with 6 weeks, consecutive or not, each party would live in the house. So sounds like, long story short, make sure you get a legal document. See a real estate lawyer. They should have got all that in writing before starting.
Right.
Or she should have.
Right. And I do agree that it shouldn't be 2 against 1. It should be 50-50 because they own it 50-50. So that's like, for instance, like the house that we're living in right now, right?
Yeah.
And so we have the fridge and we're trying to divide it up, but we're dividing it up by room, but it's not necessarily fair because there's 2 people in a room, right? So we're 2 people. That's a different situation, but you know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be 2 against 1 if you own 50-50. That should be 1 against 1.
1 against 1.
Like 1 unit against 1 unit.
Yeah. So, hopping into the chat, my dad is here. He goes, I think in that type of contract, a spouse or mate's vote is considered 1 vote. However, consult an online attorney/judge. I think everyone's on the same page with that. Mm-hmm. What's up, Nurse Nancy? Good morning. How are you guys? John Spurlock says, I'll hit you up in the DMs. We will be gaming soon enough. Yes. If we're gaming soon enough, that means they might like it. Karen, did you like the game? Did you read the game yet? Let me know. Conflict resolution is tough. So
Okay, so I keep seeing this in the chat and I can't ignore it. Guys, if you hear an echo, there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh yeah,
so
that's a wrap.
Please stop telling us that there's an echo. We've done everything that we can, and it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a wrap. So we can't fix the echo. There's literally nothing we can do. It sounds like it comes in and out, but it might be a streaming, like a Wi-Fi issue. So as it compresses the audio and uploads it through here,
and then it leaves, right? So please.
Oh, we went back?
No, it says it's gone now. So
yeah.
So please.
So we moving forward, we'll once we get our home, or if we're living at sea.
Oh.
Yeah. So should we give them a little insight of how much we need for a down payment on a home? Should we even touch on that?
I mean, it depends on how much the house costs.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. And so that's what we got this morning. You can live on a ship or you can live on land, because right now the prices are about the same. Isn't that wild? That's the world we live in right now. Everything's expensive. Everything's pricey. Someone tried to sell us a $450,000 home, and it had water damage. The floor was missing, holes in the wall. Not someone tried to sell it to her. It was just like they listed it
right
for that price.
I was like, what?
Yeah, so that's what's crazy. That's what's going on in Tampa. They're listing hurricane homes for like $400,000. I'm talking about they're beat. They're busted. Let me jump into the chat a little bit. So great to catch you on the morning show. I love it. It's a seller's market.
It is, and unfortunately, we're not selling a home. We're trying to buy one.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to buy one. So it's been a short news morning today. There are other headlines that really weren't worth mentioning.
Right. And so here's the thing. Of course, I was thinking about this morning, so I haven't talked to Cullen about this. But Good Morning Cruisers is obviously a morning show to give you news and update you on the cruise industry. I think that we just talk about news when there is news.
Okay.
And then everything else we can just make a show, because I don't like news anyway.
There we go. So we got good segments. We got Ask Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming along. We got Rose Knows Deals, which if you could shoot her a text and see if she can talk about the group cruise or the group space on the cruise.
Oh, did we talk about that?
We haven't talked about Wonder of the Seas yet.
Is she going to be ready for that? It's Monday morning.
Yeah, no. She might be busy. And so
We'll do that tomorrow.
all I know is that it's like $200 cheaper than what's listed on the site.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking about all the details, and I was like, these are a lot of details. I just heard it's $200 cheaper if you book through our group space.
Yeah, so she snagged group space, and what that means is that they're locked in at a certain rate.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to go on Wonder of the Seas, the inaugural sailing, we have group space, right? So currently that rate is cheaper than if you were to go book on Royal Caribbean's website.
Correct.
Or with another agent that might not have group space, right?
Right.
So that's what we have right now. Deposit should be the same. So Royal Caribbean always has a $500 deposit to secure your cabin. And what we talked about is that it's not necessarily going to be a Griff and Alyssa group cruise.
Yeah.
Right.
Clarification there. That's my bad.
So we will be there. We will be working, but it won't necessarily have all of the events, let's say, as like my birthday bash and the Symphony of the Seas in April. We are going to be there. And if we have enough people that book the group space, we can have like a cocktail party or something. That could be fun.
Yes.
But as an inaugural sailing, we're going to be working a lot.
Yeah, we're going to be working a lot. So let's set that expectation here on the live. And if anyone tries to blast us, you can blast me. That's my bad. So it's not a group cruise. It is group space. You can save some money. And if you haven't paid off your cruise yet, reach out to Rose at WeilerTravelGroup.com if you're watching this back later. And you can hop into that group space. And I'll say you most likely save some money. Sounds like it. Sounds like she got the group space almost before it was even announced. And then she's like, yeah, I got a little bit. She goes, people that didn't do that will have to pay the higher rate. And then as we know how everything works, looks like the battery has exhausted. So it is now a night podcast. Can you guys still hear us? Let me know if you can still hear me. Can you still hear me?
That's not how you spell here.
Awesome. So you can still hear me. Let me see if I can get this back on. This camera's been acting weird lately.
Lovely. Just what I love. Technology not working. I even went to Walgreens, guys, to get a charger block for the camera, and it died. So I don't understand why it's not working. We should be plugged in. Are we not plugged in? Well, that's fascinating. Oh, I can see myself. Hello. The cruise that we were talking about is March 4th, 2022. It's on the Wonder of the Seas. No, we're definitely not robots, Nurse Nancy. We are real humans, real life humans.
But I will say, now that the camera's dying, you want to wrap it up?
I mean, sure.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in doing the group cruise with us, group space cruise, group sailing, come hop on. Come hop on. We got the studio back. We'll work out the kinks when we get back into this. Should be good to go tomorrow. And fingers crossed. As always, guys, if you dig the vibes, please subscribe.
And if you care, please share. And we'll see you in paradise.
All right.
Tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
In the stream.